Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you a Magic the Gathering video of my Bant Pod deck. That's blue, white, and green. So to start off with the 1-drops, we have Bird of Paradise, 4 of them. They're just your basic mana acceleration. You like to get that turn 2 pod against basically any deck. These Pilgrim guys, they're just like land elves. They create white. They're not as good as the bird, I'd say, but you know, they're in there. Then you have 2 Ponders. The Ponders, basically, they find your birthing pods. They find creatures to pod. They're like a pretty good 1-for-1. You can shuffle if you don't have good things on top. Then we have 3 Phantasmal Images. They're a cheap clone and really good with Sun Titan, which you'll see later. And also copies the converted mana cost. So if your opponent has a creature that has like a 5 converted mana cost and you copy it, then you can pot it for like a 6-drop. Then you have Viridian Emissary. He's like Rampant Growth. That's also a 2/1. When he goes to the grave, you can search your deck for basic land and put it into play tapped. And now we have the 3-drops. They're a bit more complicated. First you have Scab Ruinator. He's pretty good in this deck because when you pod for him, you don't have to exile the 3 creatures. And a 5/6 flyer for 3 mana is pretty good. Later in the game, you can cast it from your grave. And since you'll be podding and just playing the game, there'll be a bunch of creatures in your grave. Then you have Blade Slicer. She's pretty good. It's like 3 mana for a 1/1 and a 3/3 first strike. And it's a pretty good thing to pod into. I just recently added Deceiver Exarch because, well, you can go straight from a 3-drop or a 2-drop into him, untapping your Birthing Pod, and going into a 4-drop, so whatever you want. And he has Flash. Most players don't expect Birthing Pod to do anything on their turn, so let's say they're attacking with their X1, you can just flash this in, tap one of their guys, block, or untap one of your guys, block, so you can easily get 2 of their guys. Then you have Soulwalk Replica. He's like a 1/3. He's okay against aggro. He blocks. And like, you can destroy enchantments and artifacts. That's good to have main deck. And he's also good against the next card. Oblivion Ring. It's Oblivion Ring. It's just spot removal. These colors don't have much of that. So it's pretty good. Another one. There's 2. And then we have 2 Thranduil's Trolls. Where I play, there's a lot of control. So I think it's pretty good. It's also pretty good against aggro. I think it's just a good card. If you don't have pod, you probably don't want to pod for a long time, but if you don't have pod, he's a really good guy to play. Then you have Stoneharm Dignitary. He's really good with 2 Ventures in the deck. He's great against aggro. When he enters the battlefield, your opponent can't attack next turn. So that's pretty good. Solemn is actually one of my favorite cards in this deck, just because when he comes into play, he gets you a basic land into play tapped, and then when he goes to the grave, you get to draw a card, so he's good coming and going. Phyrexian Metamorph is basically just another clone. He can be 3 mana, he can copy your Birthing Pod, so that's great. And since this is a Birthing Pod deck, obviously, we have the 4 pods, they're Birthing Pod, the core of the deck. Now in the 5-drops, we have 2 Acidic Slimes. He's just pretty good. He can block big things if they have a Titan or something. Block that, take it out. Yeah, he just destroys lines. He kills everything. Anything in any deck. Archon of Justice, he's a 4/4 flyer for 5. When you pod him, you exile permanent. It makes their attacks sometimes really bad, even if they have a bigger creature than you. And then you have Razor Hippogriff. I think, if you don't know what he does, when he comes into play, you get an artifact from your grave to your hand, and you gain life equal to its converted mana cost. So, like, if you pod into him from Solemn, or from one of your clones, like your Phyrexian Metamorph, then you'll be gaining 4 life, and maybe you drew a card or something, depending if it was a clone of, or if you just got Solemn. Then you have 2 Venser the Sojourner. In a pod deck, of course, there's a lot of synergy with enter the play effects, so that's pretty good. Also, he gets you at stalemates with -1 effect, and his ultimate just, it's good. If you get that off, you usually just win against most decks. Then you have your 6-drops, so 1 Sun Titan. He's good with the small drops. There'll probably be a lot of stuff in your grave. He brings back Deceiver Exarch, so in one turn, you can get from a 5-drop into a 7-drop, well, your 1/7-drop, Elesh Norn. So, and also he brings back, what's it called? Sorry, Phantasmal Image, copying himself, bringing back another Phantasmal Image, copying himself. So in one turn, you can have like 5 Sun Titans. Or, sorry, 4 Sun Titans. Wurmcoil Engine, he's good against basically every deck. Control decks have a hard time getting rid of them besides Oblivion Rings. That's why you have Oblivion Rings to get theirs. Yeah, also against aggro, he just wins. Frost Titan, he's pretty good. Like, he taps things down. He's a blocker. I really like him. He has like kind of mediocre Hexproof Shroud type thing. Elesh Norn is basically like what you're working towards. She's a 4/7 Vigilance. All your opponent's creatures get -2/-2, and all yours gets +2/+2. She just basically kills aggro. Sometimes like kills tempo. She's really good against aggro as well. So that's all my spells, and now I'll move on to my land base. First I have 4 Seachrome Coast, 1 in Japanese. Then we have 4 Ravenous Thicket, 3 Sunpetal Grove, 2 Basic Island, 7 Basic Forest, sorry, had to count there, 2 Plains, and that's it. I think it's like 21 lands. Yeah, you can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong and call me an idiot or something. And then we'll move on to my sideboard. I have 3 Day of Judgments. That's just like, because, you know, there's a lot of creatures in this deck, but it's really good against aggro. Then we have 4 Timely Reinforcements. Again, just Rex Mono Red, good against other aggro strategies. Viridian Corruptor, if you just need to destroy more artifacts. Then we have Creeping Corrosion, which just ruins Tempered Steel. Of course, with the other cards in the deck, you know, this has a very good matchup against Tempered Steel. Another Oblivion Ring, just in matchups where you want another one. And then 3 Flash Freeze, just against, you know, Wolf Run Ramp and everything. Well, thank you for watching my video. Like and subscribe if you want this. I might be putting up some more MTG videos on some of my other decks. And yeah, have a great day. Oh, also this deck went 5-0 at my latest tournament. Bye.